Hey YouTube, it's Sunday.
Why are you such a copycat?
So, okay, fun fact, oh my god, I just realized I never actually set the focus. Oh my god. Holy shit, I am so sorry for that. Oh my god, it was literally so out of focus, but I couldn't see. I was editing this footage and I realized that, you know, it was really out of focus during the first part, and at first I was like, I realized kind of halfway through and was like, oh no, why? And, you know, I was like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to film it a third time. It was the second time that I had tried to film this video, and, you know, I had talked about how, like, oh, normally I don't understand when YouTubers say that, because, like, generally when I get in front of a camera, I'm, like, more comfortable, and it's easy, and whatever, like, it's fine. But I finally got it with this video, because I was just, like, so all over the place. Anyway, and I realized that I was, like, really out of focus, because I never actually focused my camera, and I was like, well, hopefully it won't be that bad, it'll just be, like, kind of irritating, and then eventually, like, you know, it'll just switch to whenever it is in focus. But when I was editing, I realized that it was literally so out of focus, you could barely make out my facial features, as you saw at the beginning of this video. So here I am, refilming it. I was originally supposed to graduate in 2016 in May, and then I wound up taking a semester off for just a lot of reasons. So I took a semester off, and I was like, it's fine, I'll just, like, graduate in December of 2016, which is still, you know, like, still technically 2016, whatever, not a big deal. So that was the plan, and then it turns out I still owed my school money, from whenever I lived there over the summer. And at that point, it was time to register for the next semester, and I had to pay the money before I could even register, because since it was sent to a collections agency, I not only had to pay them what I owed them from before, but I also had to pay them the entirety of the next semester's stuff. Like, I couldn't set up a payment plan. I registered like 3-ish weeks late that semester, and I wound up only having like 12 credit hours. I needed 16 credit hours at least that semester, and then like 16 the next, in order for me to finish in December. I also had a scholarship that gives me $12,000 a year or $6,000 a semester, but it's only for 4 years or 8 semesters. And so, you know, December of 2016, like, that was going to be my last semester, so I couldn't go past that. So that semester came and went, and then, you know, etc., etc., and now here we are. It is the second semester of the 2016-2017 school year. Well, technically it's over, but yeah. Where the story is, we are, you know, beginning that. And again, I had to register a little bit late because I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to finish school, because it was looking like I wasn't going to have any money, like, to finish with, and it was too expensive to do full-time, and I had to bleed over, and I wound up actually needing 3 classes in an internship. And I couldn't do all 4 of those in the semester because it'd be full-time, and it's cheaper to do it part-time, so I decided that instead of, you know, graduating this May and then leaving for LA in May, right after I finished, we were just going to leave in August after I was done, because I was going to do 2 classes this semester and then a class in an internship over the summer. So the 2 classes that I was going to do for this semester: poetry capstone, which is like our senior exit project type class thing. Like, every senior has to do it, and it's different for your major. Like, I'm a creative writing major, so mine had to do with writing and whatever, and like the final project of that was going to be like a portfolio. Oh, there's strings everywhere. It was a great class. I passed with an A. Awesome. The other class I was going to take was philosophy class, and that's because I had a core requirement, but they, like, took away that program and then claimed they were going to work with the seniors, and then they never did. I'm still really bitter about that, but anyway, if they had worked with seniors, I probably wouldn't be in this situation, but anyway. So, yeah, so I had to take one of the substitutes offered for core instead of just, like, eliminating it, because the classes don't exist anymore, so why should it still be a part of my required curriculum? I don't know. Anyway, it was either business, a comm class, which sounded awful. I don't do business at all either, and then there was a philosophy course, and I've always been interested in philosophy. Like, literally, I don't know, intellectual conversations, going, like, really deep into stuff like that. I love it. You know, my mom used to tell me, like, you should be a philosopher, and it was only, like, partly a joke, and the only reason it was partly a joke was because, you know, we weren't sure how to make money as a philosopher aside from teaching philosophy. I had never really gotten a chance to take a philosophy course before, so I decided to take it. I feel like it's also important to mention, the way my school, like, the classes go, it's so frustrating. Like, they're only offered at a certain time, and that time usually changes too, so, like, you can't always just take the classes that you need. There's a journalism class that I've been needing to take for a long time. It's like a part of my minor. That's the only part of my minor that I have not completed, is that one course, and every time I try to take it, it's either offered at the same time as another class, or it's just not offered that semester. So it's really frustrating, and actually these 2 classes were the only 2 that I could realistically take this semester that didn't, like, go at the same time. I was actually really excited for these classes, which is awesome, because, like, I hadn't been excited for classes in honestly about 2 years. Like, my mental health has been like on a downward spiral for a while now, starting at about like 2.5 years ago. Honestly, at this point, I'm amazed that I did not fail those classes. Like, I was not able to show up to class half the time. I wasn't able to do my homework. Like, it was honestly, it was awful. Like, I'm amazed I got as far as I did without just flunking out, you know what I mean? But anyway, so I was really excited about both of these classes. Like, I love philosophy, I love poetry. I didn't know that I loved poetry until last semester, but then I found out that I loved it, and yeah, I was really excited. I was showing up to class, like every single class, not just for the poetry class, like for both of the classes, for philosophy and the poetry capstone. Like, I was in there almost every single time, and the philosophy class met every Monday and Wednesday afternoon from like 1:30 to 5 to like 3:15 or some really weird time like that. My poetry capstone was a night class. It met every Monday night from 6 to 9:30. We usually got out like 9, but still. So the first day that I, you know, went into my philosophy class, I just kind of walked in, didn't really introduce myself to anyone. I mean, I was there on time, but I literally registered the night before. I believe it was on a Wednesday, because I didn't have my poetry capstone that night, and I was kind of sad because I was like really excited for that class. I walked in a little bit early just because I usually like to be early to class. I'm late to everything, but I go into the left side and sit against the left wall where there's like desks where my back is like facing the left wall. Now, there are also there's like desks going around in a, you know, square shaped U, and then there are also desks that are horizontal in like, I think 2 rows, but like in the middle, and they're facing the front. The teacher has a desk at the front of the classroom in the very middle. So, okay, so teacher's desk, students' desks, me. Just gonna reiterate that. Teacher, me. Other students right in front of teacher. Okay, okay. So one of my friends from one of my past classes was in that class. Danny, stop. So she let me look over her notes before class started, because she was like, oh, here you go, so you're not lost or whatever. So yeah, then after that, I was just kind of playing on my phone because it was still early. Like, it wasn't time for class to start yet. I think it was like still like 1:28, I don't know, close to 1:30, but it wasn't 1:35 yet. Anyway, I'm just like playing this little game on my phone. It's called Rings. I'm obsessed with it. And then I see like this really weirdly tall guy walk into the classroom. So like, look up, because I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, and again, I'm like right beside the door, okay? So I like look up, and he's like walking in, and I think it's a student. Like, he looks like a student, and then he walks over and sits down at the teacher's desk, you know, the desk in the middle of the classroom facing all the students. So I'm like kind of shocked, because like this guy, even though he's got like gray hairs and his nasty little scraggly little beard, he looks like a student. Like, it was just weird. But anyway, so, you know, I was kind of confused, but then I looked back down at my phone and I just keep playing my game because, again, it's not time to start yet, and I figure either he will ask me, like, why I'm here, or I'll, like, talk to him at the end of class. I'm not gonna, like, before class starts, be like, hey, by the way, I'm new, hello! Like, I just, you know, it's a philosophy class. I don't really know. Like, I'll jump in on a conversation. I don't know why, that's just kind of how I operate. So I wasn't gonna say anything, so I'm just, like, on my phone, and then I, like, see him look at me out of the corner of my eye. I see him look at me twice. So, like, you know, I'm like sitting over here, like, this is me and this is him, and I see him go, and that's it. He just kind of sits there and like looks around for a few minutes, and I'm just like still playing on my phone, and then he stands up and he walks around all the other students who are in front of him, all the way around the desk to me, which, like, okay, so I assume that at this point, he's gonna be like, hey, what's your name? Are you, like, new to this class? Like, I don't see you on my roster, like, you know, nice to meet you, whatever. So I, like, close my phone, I put it down, and I'm like, yes. He, like, kind of bends down, because he's, like, really tall, and he, like, bends down, and he's like, hey, can I borrow your pen? And okay, I feel like now is the time when I need to, like, describe just him, like his aesthetic and everything. So he looks like a student, we've already covered that, but his aesthetic is like 3 different things that really should not go together. They clash, and it's weird, and I don't know, it's just not weird in a good way, like it's weird. So his aesthetic is hipster, fitness junkie, homeless man. Like, those things do not go together. Like, he's got like this ratty beanie that I feel like he wears every single day. He's got like this like pointy little like beard. I don't know, he seems pretentious, but also like he's homeless, and also like he really likes to jog. It's weird. His voice kind of was like really high pitched. It was higher than mine, which, I mean, you know, I have a low voice anyway, so like that's not like a really weird thing, but like it sounded like he was talking to someone who is in the middle of like a mental breakdown. You know how like if someone's like in the middle of a mental breakdown, like they're hyperventilating, they're whatever, and you need to like ask if you should leave the room or whatever, you know, you gotta, you know, be calm and whatever. And so the way he spoke to me was like, hey, do you need me to leave the room? It was like soft and like kind of like he was like his facial expression was like concerned. Anyway, it just kind of tripped me up. And then yeah, he asked to borrow my pen, which again was weird because like he got up from his desk and came all the way around to me and wasn't coming to ask me who I was or why I was in the class or whatever, or even introduce himself. He was just like, can I borrow your pen? Like pretending like I'd already been in there before. It was weird. So I let him borrow it and he used it to like create the roster and pass it around, gave me back my pen, whatever. Now I knew exactly what he was doing because I have studied some like random psychology facts and whatever, and I know what that means. Actually, if you guys want me to do a video on like random psychology facts like that, let me know because that could be really fun. But it's kind of like a manipulative tactic that like if you want someone to not dislike you, ask them to borrow a pen or a pencil because it's a task that's like small enough that they're not going to say no, and they would feel weird if they did say no. I mean, some people might, but most of the time people aren't going to say no, you can't borrow my pencil. Like, you know, they'll be like, okay, fine, whatever. But it's also like still a gesture and some kind of like interaction between the two of you that's not negative. So that had to be what he was doing because it doesn't make sense that he just needed to borrow a pen because there were people literally right in front of him. So yeah, I was attending every class, super into it, thought I was doing really well. In fact, I was even doing my homework consistently, which like, what? Who am I? Like, we were supposed to do like, listen to a podcast every week and then write a paper on it and turn it in by Sunday. And I was doing those, like regularly doing those, enjoying them. And I wasn't just like doing the bare minimum on the paper either. Like, I would actually go over and like do whatever. I was working really hard. And I honestly loved that assignment. Like, it was a lot of fun. Now, okay, I was attending class, every single day, both in philosophy and poetry class, but there were 2 Mondays in a row that I missed. Now, the first Monday was because of mental health reasons that my counselor can attest to, because I actually went to counseling instead of going to class because I was like mid-breakdown, like anxiety, etc. Like, it was a very, very, very bad day. And I was gonna email him about that day, but I kind of forgot about it. Communication is really hard for me when I'm in that state anyway. So I was like, I'll just do it afterward, and then I forgot. And then we did meet Wednesday for some reason. I don't remember exactly why, but class was canceled. And then the next Monday I missed because I had blown a tire and broken my toenail off so I could barely walk. If you've never broken a toenail off before, it's not just like breaking a nail. Like, I mean, yes, like that sucks and like you bleed and whatever and it hurts, but it also is bruised and it's so hard to walk because every time you take a step it just like pushes more pressure on it. It just, you can't, yeah, anyway, okay. I couldn't make it to class, basically. I couldn't physically get there. I'm 45 minutes away. It's not like I can just get a ride, and then I could barely walk. So anyway, I didn't go to class that week. Now, to be fair, that Monday, I swear I thought I'd emailed him, and to be fair, like I said, it was only the second time I'd ever missed that class. Yes, it was 2 Mondays in a row, but it was only the second time I'd ever missed, okay? So yeah, and I thought I did email him because I emailed my poetry professor, and I meant to add him to that email, but looking over it now, I realized that actually I didn't email him, but still, that shouldn't matter. It's college. A policy states that if your class meets at least 2 times a week, then you are allowed 3 to 4 unexcused absences before your grade starts to drop a letter grade per extra absence. Again, only for unexcused, and you get 3 to 4. Just throwing that out there. Oh, and time before you register does not count. So it's literally not... Okay, let's just get into this. So yes, I should have been in more communication with him, but I still was not technically breaking any rules. I was still doing all of my homework, I was still attending class on time. I didn't have a book yet, but that's because I'm broke and I just registered. I was still working on getting a book. Which is why I was so shocked when that Monday night, literally like 9:30 p.m., I got this email. The subject is just drop fill 305. That's it. It says, hello. Not my name or any other kind of greeting, not hope you're doing well because I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. No, not anything that any normal teacher would have sent if I had missed his class. I have a lot of experience with absence policies at that school. Not that that's a good thing, but I just do. It is what it is. And yeah, nope, just hello. Hello, you have not attended class, lowercase u, by the way, Mr. PhD, or turned in any assignments. Please drop ASAP. And then he signed it with the first letter of his last name, which we're gonna say is F, because F you, fam. So, okay, let me just take a second to note what time he sent me the email. It was Monday, February 13th, so the second Monday I missed class at 9:35 p.m. So this bitch probably got home, and as soon as he got home was like, okay, time to be an asshole, and wrote me that email. Just noting his punctuality. Like I said, I'd been going to every class except for the 2 that I missed and then turning in all of my homework. I was participating avidly in class, and he always seemed to be interested in what I had to say in class because, not to toot my own horn or anything, but toot toot, I'm good at philosophy. Like, I'm sorry, I just am. Well, I'm not sorry, but I am good at philosophy. Anyway, I had legit raved about this professor to my friends, and every time he came into the coffee house to get coffee, which was basically every day, I was always more than happy to ring him up and like chat with him and whatever. He even made a point to tell me one day at the coffee house that he was really glad I had joined his class. The point is, I thought he was great and I thought he liked me. Until I got that email. So when I saw it on Tuesday before I left for work, I decided to go ahead and respond. It was 8:30 a.m. on the Tuesday, the day right after, just to keep up with the time. So I said, hi, no greeting or anything, just, you know, to match his tone because I was pissed. Hi, sorry I've been absent twice already. It's been a hectic few weeks. I have attended classes though, like literally all of them except for those 2, and turned in assignments, again, all of them, for once. There have just been 2 exceptions to that. I cannot drop this class, nor do I plan to for simply missing 2 classes. Again, I literally needed this class to graduate. It was going to cover both of my remaining class recs, other than like, you know, the poetry class, which I was also taking. And that way I was going to be able to walk in graduation, and then I was just going to have to do an internship over the summer. That was it. Plus, I had already paid for the class. Throwing that out there because that's important. And I would like to point out just how professional and cordial I am being in this email. Because a bitch is petty. And a bitch was pissed. And a bitch was sleepy. And you bitches know how this bitch gets when she's sleepy. But I managed to stay calm and professional, and yeah. The ridiculous thing too is that I worked on Tuesday, like I said, since I didn't have class that day, and I had read and responded to his email, and then a couple hours later while I was at work, he walked in to get some coffee. And when he saw me at the register, because, you know, that's just where they had me, I was ringing people up, he was more than happy to see me and acted like everything was totally normal. Like, asked how I was doing and all of that stuff. Like, it was just weird. And so I thought that maybe I'd misinterpreted his tone. I thought maybe he isn't actually angry at me, maybe he just comes off that way in his emails. In fact, I even thought that maybe he didn't even mean it like I took it, maybe he just meant that I needed to either work harder or drop the class, but either way it would have to be now. Because the deadline to like drop a class was in like 2 weeks or something, I don't know, something like that. So I was perfectly cordial with him and he was on his way. And then I got another motherfucking goddamn email. Oh, okay, also, you know, I know we've already talked about the fact that he knew my name was Kai. It like had clearly called me Kai in class before. I'd always signed the sheets with Kai, I changed it on my courses, etc. But like also my name tag literally said Kai, okay, just saying anyway. So this bitch sent me an email that night, Valentine's Day around 6 p.m. that read, hi Amber. Amber. Bitch. The fuck you just call me? Amber. Bitch, listen. I am not playing, that is not my name. Yeah. He called me Amber, even though he knew my name. Oh, also just like check out the shitty formatting and the lack of capital letters, but like, I'm the one being unprofessional. Hi, Amber. You should take a look at the My Courses gradebook if you have not already. You received 0s for the 2 assignments that you did submit because you did not submit a Word document or PDF as clearly specified in the writing guidelines forum. No other file type is accepted. At this point, you have all 0s and are failing the class, hence my email. First of all, bitch, spell out 0s. 0'S is not correct. For that matter, capitalize your damn sentences. And putting parentheses in there was unnecessary. It makes a lot more grammatical sense to make that a separate sentence. Also, you don't need a comma after hence. Hence, my commentary. Fuck your doctorate. Second of all, bitch, how dare you? He used my legal name, which I do not use anymore unless it's a legal matter. The only people I let still call me that is my family because they've been doing it for 22 years, and I wish that they would switch over and respect my new name, but regardless, like, that's not the point. Like, I get it. But you're a shitty-ass professor with a useless doctorate who doesn't know how to write an email like a grown-up, who thinks he's on top of the world, and you do not have the right to call me that. Not to mention the fact that he didn't use a name or any other kind of greeting in any of the other emails, so there's no way that was not intentional. And damn it, he knew my name. He called me Kai in class. I signed the roster as Kai. I changed my name on my courses to Kai. Like, I signed my emails with Kai. My name tag said Kai. Like, he literally knew my name. You can't just sit there and pretend like you don't know what my name is and like you just automatically assume that that's what I like to be called because that's what my name technically still is in the grade book. Like, no, that is not how this shit works. Get out my face with that bullshit. And okay, I should have read the writing guidelines, but that is not the big mistake that was made here. He should have talked to me beforehand. He could have, after the first assignment got a 0, I don't know, emailed me, and he cannot claim that he did not have time to with how quickly he was responding with his bitchy toddler-ass emails. If you have time to start this whole email email chain insisting I drop a class and how nothing in the world is your fault ever, then you have time to shoot me an email that says, hey, I gave your last assignment a 0, see the writing guidelines for why. That's it. That's literally all you had to do. But no, it's much easier to just insist that I drop your class. Okay. Okay, and I think that's where I need to end it today because honestly, the story's gotten like so long at this point and it's gotten so many more developments at this point that like it would turn into an hour-long story time if I tried to just tell it all in one go right now, which I'm sure that you don't want because this story is already like super long and it's gotten so many more developments since I started trying to tell it last time, and it was already really long then, that like it would have turned into like an hour-long story time, which I'm sure none of you want. I can't like handle filming the whole thing right now. This is the 4th time I've tried to film this video. I'm so flustered. I'm angry, not only because I had to refilm it many times, but also because like the situation happened and then what happened afterward, and then I'm gonna like report someone to corporate at my job because of this story time, and like I almost didn't get to walk in graduation and then I did. It was a whole thing, and I need to like cut it off here and then I'll make a part 2. Oh, I'm just gonna say one more time, fuck your doctorate, fuck with me, get out of my face. You know what I mean? Like, just get off your high horse. Like, you don't deserve it. I'm so angry. I hate him so much. Literally, oh my god, I'm so angry. Okay, and yeah, in the emails, the screenshots, I tried to make sure that I, you know, like hid his name and whatever and hid the school, even though I'm sure you guys know what school I go to. I just wanted to not have the name of the school in this video just to, you know, make it like, I don't know, I'm covering all my bases here because I'm getting like real heated in this video and I feel like I need to. Anyway, that is going to be all for this week. Anyway, that's going to be about all for this week. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I see all you new people coming in, and what's up? Welcome to the Copycat family. You're all Macchiatos now. So yeah, if you have not subscribed already, or subscribed as I say on this channel, go ahead and do that. Click that little button that I believe is right here. I literally always, the subscribe button should be like right here. So go ahead and click that button, join the Copycat family, become a Macchiato, and while you're at it, stay bitchy, Macchiatos. I mean, it was the only thing I could think that would be fitting. Thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And I will see you next week, hopefully on time. Bye!
Hey YouTube, hey YouTube, hey YouTube, it's Sunday. We thought you died. Fuck it, I'm dead. Little boulder! Whiplash, sorry. Subscribe. Anyway, kind of psycho mode. What? Macchiatos? Same. Woohoo! Why does this shit happen to me?
Why are you such a copycat?
I know it's like really petty, but I really hope he watches this email because guess what? Here's my like super like good message for you. Like, here's a little bit of criticism. Just like, you know, take it. Just take it. It's, you know, it's constructive. I hate him so much.